Welcome to A Word with the Girls. We're all in the same place. I'm Molly, and I'm joined by my sisters, Emily and Abby. It's been a while, but you can still go follow us on Instagram at A Word with the Girls. You can also subscribe to YouTube. Not that we're posting anything there, but you can still catch up on all the things. But yeah, it's also not too late to shoot us a message and let us know how you're doing. Or share a word that you've got for us. So before we dive in today, let's catch up.
All right. I don't even know.
Stuff has happened.
Right. I don't even know the last time we podcasted. I feel like I was like 3 weeks out from moving. Maybe.
Have we not done one since you've lived here?
No.
Oh,
We've had multiple plans to do that.
Well, we've had really good conversations, just not recorded.
Right. But other things took precedence, just like chatting and yeah. But life's been super busy. So do we start with like the most recent awesome things that have happened, or do we kind of start back up?
I don't know. I feel like backing up to when you moved here would be good.
Yeah.
Maybe for your update.
Okay. So yeah, Kevin and I moved here back in February. So it's been like 3 months. We lived with mom and dad for 60 days, which I am so grateful for. Like, it's such a blessing to be able to have had a space for free. Being with mom and dad, I learned many skills from mom. She's so talented and her knowledge is so great when it comes to baking and canning and all the things. But it was so cool. Like, I think this whole move has just been so beautiful of like how God has so faithfully provided. It's been like overwhelmingly cool. So we got here, let's say on a Monday. On Saturday, we met with our realtor, looked at 7 houses, and literally found the house that we now live in, which was this brand new build, which was like such a gem, under budget, but it was also still under construction. So anyways, yeah, so living with mom and dad for 60 days was interesting, and we really appreciate our space now. We moved into our brand new home and have guests coming this weekend, so that has been good motivation to get the house all ready and put together. I'm currently 30 weeks pregnant, which is also crazy.
Awesome.
Yeah. So Mr. Little Dude will be here in less than 10 weeks, which is crazy. So that in itself is like, God's been super faithful with that too. So yeah. But I am just so grateful to be living here with you guys. Like, it truly is such a gift to be able to be like, let's go get drinks, or I'm not drinking, but let's go out, or we do family dinners every week. And I'm just so grateful. Like, it's such a gift, and it's something I never would have anticipated us ever getting to do like this. So, and we really like it here. Like,
That's great.
We're just constantly being like, it's so pretty here. We love it. The people are people. I don't know. It's just nice. And we literally live like 15 minutes from you guys. So it's super easy. So yeah. Oh, and, I'm a go-getter. Like, as soon as we moved into the house, I was like, I'm going to go find a job. And so it was so cool. The sonographer who did our ultrasound for our 20-week gave me the name of the group fitness instructor director and was like, yeah, you should go talk to her. So I went and talked to her, and she was like, oh my gosh, we need subs. And I was like, great. And so then I've started subbing fitness classes in person. That's been such a gift. And I've been doing water aerobics like 3 times a week, and I love it. So anyways, that's what's keeping me busy. Yeah. And eventually we'll have a nursery put together. But that's my update. It's super fun being y'all's cheerleader for all the things you're doing. Abby, what's been going on in the last few months for y'all?
Let's think. We just wrapped up our enrichment program for homeschool. We'll still homeschool at home a little bit. But it was
during the summer?
During the summer. Yeah, just to finish up some curriculum stuff. But the kiddos did basketball and volleyball earlier in the year, which was so fun. New sports for both of them. Both were just really brave and had to fight through being uncomfortable, which is, we like to put our kids in uncomfortable situations so we can help them grow. And Amos especially really had to fight through some of that. And he came out just great and strong and confident. It was hard getting there, but by his last game, he was there.
Will he play again?
Maybe, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he might. And then the end of the year, they just finished their Bone Shakers group, which is like a kids mountain bike group, which is really cool. I mean, only in Colorado or Western Colorado would your like 8 and 6-year-old go mountain bike for 2 hours every week, but it's the coolest and they love it. And we love that they're being taught how to do it, so we don't have to do it for them.
That's true.
So that's really helpful. And Annie has just kind of been along for the ride. The Fridays where the kids were at their enrichment program, her and I would just have fun. We'd sit on the couch and eat cereal and watch Elmo, or go run to the park and she'd play. And so I loved my one-on-one time with Annie on Fridays. It was a break from having all three, and just good one-on-one time for her and I to connect.
She is so much fun.
Yeah, she is so fun. And just
she's hilarious.
Yes. Yeah.
Her faces and
yeah, she's very animated. She loves to sing. Even just lately we did I do all my flowers on Mother's Day, and I did our garden beds, and she was out front singing to them because I told her, like, if you sing to the flowers, they'll grow. And
oh my gosh.
I just saw a video of Millie. I should try and find that.
Was she singing?
She's singing "Grow, Grow
Yep.
Flowers," and Amos is like rocking out. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, I should find that video.
Yeah. So yeah, she's just the best little honey bunny. So yeah, we did her birthday party. She turned 2 in April, and we kind of had like a palooza. And when I asked her what kind of party she wanted, she said momos, which is marshmallows. And so I was like, cool. So I kind of went with that and just came up with fun games that were like marshmallow themed, and it was a joy. And then we invited lots of people, but she loves people, so it was just all Annie, and she loved it. And then over the last couple months, Alex and I have also been training. So we were training and giving each other time and headspace to go on long mountain bike rides, and mostly runs for me, some runs for him, because we signed up for this gravel bike race with Dad, actually. And we had signed up for 30 miles, and a gravel bike is basically like if a mountain bike and a road bike had a baby. That's basically what it is. It looks like a road bike with thicker tires. We don't have gravel bikes, so we were training on mountain bike single track trails. So when it came to race day, we actually demoed 2 gravel bikes. We had never ridden them before, but we're like, it'll be fine. So we picked them up the day before the race, and it turned out fine. It was super fun, but we got up that day, and Emily and Kevin came over early at the break of dawn. Alex and I left to make it to the start of the race, and then we found out that day that they had extended the race to 46 miles instead of 30 miles because of road damage. And that was like, what? So like 50% increase. That's like a lot of miles. So that was kind of a mind game a little bit. But we were like, you just leave it all out on the table on race day. And so we started out. So that race was just this last weekend, over my birthday weekend. I turned 35, and I like wanted to kind of tap into this 19-year-old Abby who like wanted to be a racer. And I was like, I'm just going to see what happens.
And what happened, Abby?
Well, so I ended up getting first in my age group, and it was like crazy cool. Just like a full circle cool moment for me. Just because it was like really redemptive in a way, because it was kind of a dream I had to say goodbye to by choice, but I just knew it wasn't something I could throw myself into when I was 19. And so to do this race and train and have 3 kids and have all this other weight on me, but choosing to make this training a priority and then have that training really just honor me a lot that day was like so cool. And it was like the work I did. It was for me. It wasn't for anyone else, just me. And I don't get a whole lot of those things that are just mine. So anyway, so that day it turned out awesome. Alex did great.
It was his first race ever.
Yeah, he'd never done a bike race. The only running race he's ever done is the turkey trot, which doesn't really count.
No, it's not that competitive. Like,
no.
It's just a different vibe.
And so...
And he got 5th in his age group.
And his age group was like the really fast, crazy guys.
Yeah, he did great.
So he was... And yeah, so that was just... It was just really cool to work together and to give each other permission to like, yeah, you need time, go take time. Go train. So then that was Saturday was the gravel race. I got first in my age group, 30 to 39, 5th overall, 5th overall woman, 16th overall out of men and women. And then I wasn't sure if I would sign up for the half marathon the next day just because I was like, I don't know how I'm going to feel. I haven't done a race in forever. And I think it was more mental, but by the end of the day, I was like, I'm just going to block any discomfort and I'm going to sign up for the thing. So the next morning, Molly had trained. So I was like, I'll go with you. I think I'm going to do it. So we got in the car and that morning I signed up and was like, okay. And so, yeah, we started and I ran with the fastest gal for like a half a mile. And then I was like, okay, that's funny. You go. And then I just ran my own race and some people passed me and it was fine. And then I came to the end of that one and I ended up winning first place in my age group for that one as well. And was like, this has got to be a joke. This is a joke.
When you ran like a sub 2, right?
Yeah. So my goal was to run under 2 hours. And so I ran an hour and 58 minutes and it was a trail half marathon. So, elevation, I think it was almost 1,000 feet elevation total. Was that what it was? Like 900?
No, maybe like 700 or so.
So, terrain's rocky and
your pack didn't work. She was like running without water.
Yeah. I had a hydration pack that got pinched and so I didn't have water. So then I ended up taking that off and throwing it. And then I got my earbuds all covered in espresso goo. And so I couldn't have them in my ear. And it was just like,
nothing against you. And yet you still prevailed.
Persevered. And it was great. And it was just like, I'm just out here running my own race. And I just had to be like, it is what it is. And then when I came to the finish and I was sub 2, I was like, what? This is amazing. And then, yeah. So it was just great.
It was so fun to like watch you and cheer that on. And it really, I really do admire you and Alex. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
You've done such a good job of being intentional to carve out time for training too. I think that's really awesome.
Yeah.
Because you need that. Like, you realize that is what also gives you life. In order for you to be the best mom you can be,
Totally.
That's what you need. And like, you and Alex just do a really good job of giving each other what each other's needs. And I think that's just been a really helpful model for Kevin and I as we like embark on about to have a kid. Like, okay, what does it look like to also give permission to like take time for yourself and not be like resentful and it just be actually really beneficial.
Totally. Yeah, it's like always putting their needs above your own and not keeping tally marks.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So it's just like, no, we both need to train and we both wanted each of us to do well. Mm-hmm. And so in order to do that, if Alex needed to ride that day and I didn't get a ride in, I had to be like champion for him because I was like, he's working hard and he's going to do well. And I need to be okay with that. And I'm going to do well because I've trained too. So yeah. So anyway,
now you have a taste of it, and you just told us what you just signed up for.
So I signed up for the Telluride Mountain Run. I'm usually an Imogene person, but Imogene may or may not be happening because of the road damage that was last year, and so that's not fixed yet. And so I was like, well, but there's this other one. It's a 13-mile race, but the first half is 4,000 feet elevation gain in 4 miles.
Good Lord.
And it's like, they're like, warning, this is not a trail run. This is a mountain trek. And you're like, what? It's because you're like trekking up across stuff. You sign a waiver saying like, I understand that if I get stranded, like emergency services won't be here very quickly because it's like, so it's like,
both of you all signed up for this?
No, just me so far.
I was like,
no, that was maybe Alex.
Do you need to write a will or something? Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
so
that's true. Is it really safe for both of you to
do it? That was actually what Alex said. He's like, should we both do this? Like, I don't know. Because you're like holding onto ropes, going across like
traversing things.
I know. So I'm like, okay, heights, because I don't do well with heights.
That's true.
But I'm like, I like being scared though. That's part of the reason why I mountain bike, because it's scary.
Will Alex sign up for something else?
Yeah. He was going to try for, I think, a bike race, a mountain bike race.
Good.
Yeah, and then long road ahead. Next summer, we're going to try for the Kokopelli ride, which is a 150 mountain bike ride from Moab all the way to Junction. It's a bike pack.
Wow.
So it would just be us. It'd be like 4 days to celebrate 15 years.
That's right. We hit that milestone next year. Crazy.
So
all that to say, I'm a total badass and crushing it as a mom, as an athlete.
Yeah.
It's a different level too. I just feel like you're just a different kind of beast when it comes to athleticism.
I think now it's different now because I think I've tapped into the strength of like by being a mom or something, or maybe it's just age and maturity too. Mm-hmm. And you probably feel that too, like being able to run and say yes to things, not because you're going to be the best, but because like I love it, you know, you're good at it and like it's good for you. But I just think it was cool to feel like I was good and I was fast and I could keep up.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually could.
Like, talented.
Right.
No, you look like the rest of them.
Right.
Like you looked like a biker. And you
sure,
looked like
I'm strong and I'm trained and I am a runner. Fine. I'll admit that. But like, no, you're like talented.
Well, it's fun to be like in the game. Like I was like in the game. Like I stayed with the pros for the first 15 miles and I was in like the drag line in and out with them for the first 15 miles and we were going like 21 miles an hour.
And we're talking about people who like their career is
right.
this.
So I'm like
their whole life is this. So for you
like it's not out of reach
as a side hobby.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And to be doing that well is like a whole other level.
It's not out of the realm of possibility.
It's like really amazing. So
thank you.
And fun to watch.
I feel like I like finally am believing that like I'm
You're
capable because I never really felt that. In high school I was never good enough as a cross country runner. I was never the fastest and I was never, and then I got a little tiny bite of it when I was 18, 19 and I knew I could be really good. But I also knew I couldn't be married and have a wonderful family and life and also be a full-time pro rider. That just wasn't.
Now you can have it all. Yeah, I was joking with her. I was like, well, tell your kids they're going back to school because mom's going to be sponsored by, I don't know, whatever the bike companies are. But
who knows? So it's a fine balance of keeping it like as something that I love and not something that just is all consuming.
Yeah.
So
it's always good, though, to have something now to continue to work towards because you've worked so hard to like let all that
totally
end. So I hope that like that this also helps Alex too, because I think it's been super fun for him to have something to work towards. So great update. And then here's Molly, Miss like ambition, holy goal,
academia, world traveler.
I mean, I guess it feels maybe similar to what you were talking about of just like getting to the end of this season and being like, oh my gosh, I did it. Like I did it. I did school and I did, you know, like this year has been so hard as far as like juggling so many things of being in this sped director's program and like being in charge of the psych team and leading that and like, you know, training for these different races that I've had and then also like preparing for this trip that I'm going on and applying for this new job that I went for. Like
so much.
It's so much and it's been exhausting and yet like I did it. And I don't know if it's like fully sunk in that I've done it.
Tell the audience what all you have done because it has been a lot.
Yeah, like in the last, I don't know, 2 months or so, I applied for the sped coordinator job and interviewed for that and got it. So I have a new job starting in July, which is really exciting. It just feels so foreign too, a little bit, to like have worked so hard for something and then to have it like pay off. So I think that's also like where I relate a little bit. Like, wait,
that doesn't happen.
I followed the formula and it worked. Totally. Like I don't know what to do with that.
Well, and you're like, are you sure? Are you sure? Like that's like,
oh yeah, no. For weeks I was like, they're gonna renegotiate. They're gonna take it back. You're it's like, not gonna be real. Not. Like they're gonna change their mind. You know. Yeah, it's wild. So yeah, so I have a new job starting next year. I finished grad school with A's. And I also took the praxis test this week, which was horrible, but hopefully I passed it.
162. 162.
It was like so horrible.
How much longer do you have to wait?
I don't know. They said 10 to 16 days.
So you're going to be international when you get this news.
So yeah, and I'm going on, I'm headed to Europe next week for the Camino de Santiago, which I've been like prepping for all semester as well, as far as like trying to wrap my mind around doing that and getting all of the materials and supplies and all the things. So that will be exciting.
You did accomplish a really cool goal this past weekend with Abby.
Yeah, and so yeah, I've also been training for this half marathon, which kind of felt like this whole other thing that was just like on top of everything. What am I doing? But it was good, like, because I think I needed the running to kind of help with my mental health throughout all of those things. So it was nice to have something that forced me to do that. But yeah, so Abby and I both ran in the same half marathon race, and I did far better than I think I expected.
No, literally, we were expecting what, like 3.5? So we're just sitting around, and all of a sudden I like look up and I'm like, Molly! Like, it was less than 3 hours.
Yeah. So
we all like ran to the finish line to watch her finish. It was so cool.
No, it was pretty cool. I think I surprised myself, like the way, because it was an out and back. So the way out was like okay, but I like just kept going. I just like didn't stop. Also, there were only 50 people running in this race, 53, and I was like, 53 people. There's a good chance that I could be the last person, because it's happened before. I think I was like second to last in my very first cross country race, like literally second to last.
30 years.
Running in the middle of the desert in the reservation. It was so awful. I was like, what am I doing? I'm going to die out here and no one's going to know.
Right. Yeah, it's true.
So anyways, I was like, well, it wouldn't be the first time if I do end up late or end up last. And so I just was like determined not to turn around and look to see who was behind me. So like, I definitely had a couple people pass me and I was like, okay, just don't turn around. You don't need to know. Just keep moving forward. And then I was like, well, by the time I turn around at the halfway point, I'm going to know where I am in the lineup. So anyways, but once I did hit that halfway point and was coming back, I just like got a second wind and was able to like increase my pace pretty significantly. And then I was like watching the clock on the way back and was like, there's a chance that I could, like, well, maybe not quite PR because my Rimrock half marathon was pretty quick, but it was downhill. But I was like, this is close to my very first half marathon. And that one was like flat and almost a decline. So, yeah, but I ended up getting like 2:45 or so, which is basically the same as my first one. So, which says a lot, like in 2 years to have grown.
Because this was the PR.
Really trained for that first one. Really hard. This one, you like, I'm gonna run here and there. I'll put in some long miles this day, but like, it's not like you were like so.
No.
And I think that shows a lot for how.
What was special was this was like the last race. Well, maybe you could still race the rest of the year. No, in like 2 months. Never mind. In the same age bracket.
Also cool. Well, that's true. I also got third place for our age group, which is just like really, really funny. You know,
so cool.
That's also not the first time that's happened where I like
Mingus,
where I got a medal. What? Who? What?
I love it.
So, anyways, but yeah, just really special to do that all together all weekend. I just felt like it was so fun.
It was fun.
Yeah, and then even like watching Dad, like it was like the coolest win for him. Because, yeah, like Abby said, it was like 15 miles longer. And that's like a mental screwery, my goodness.
50% more.
And Dad hadn't finished a race in a while due to different things. And so, I mean,
we were like,
It was getting to like
We did
7
have to wait
hours.
quite a while.
And somebody had given him the wrong information. So we had gotten a text like, hey, I'm 10 miles out. I'm like, cool. This will be like, what, 30 minutes?
Yeah, maybe.
An hour goes by, and then we're all thinking, like, worst case scenario.
Well, and there's no signal, so we're trying to track him on the phone, but, like, we're not sure how accurate it is. So then, thank God for Emily, she, like, went to the medical tent and checked in with them. She went to the other tent and checked in with them, and then she just asked every single person who finished the race.
Like, have you seen a guy in a royal blue helmet? And, of course, Dad's, like, talking to everyone, like, oh, my son-in-law and my daughter rode this race, too. And they're like, is it that guy?
Yeah,
We were like,
so thank God he's so
Chatty.
Cool. Yeah.
But anyways, watching him finish, I literally cried because it was just like, was so cool to watch him finish so strong. Like, he really did finish strong, and like, just to have a sense of accomplishment, I think he really needed that.
Totally. And he trains
so hard. So
like,
hard.
He put in more probably double the amount of miles that Alex I put in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he trains every day, rides his bike, and so it's just like he needed and deserved to win.
Yeah.
And winning for him was like crossing that line.
Mm-hmm. So that was just, it was like such a fun weekend. I'm so glad I get to be here for all these things now, you know, and just to watch everybody like crush their goals and cheer them on and celebrate. And yeah. But as you prepare, you leave in like 4 days. What, I mean, it's hard to like know what to anticipate or expect from this trip, but like, what are you hoping for?
I mean, I'm trying to be like very open-handed with the whole thing, to the point where like if I get there and it's horrible, I can like change up my plans and go somewhere else if I want to. You know, like
Totally.
So I'm trying to be like very open-handed with it and realistic. Like the whole thing, you know, it's not going to be easy. There's going to be times when it's lonely and when it's painful and when it's boring, and so I'm just hoping to like go into it and embrace all of it. I am really glad that I'm leaving, because I think if I didn't have this trip, I'm afraid that being like here this summer or whatever, I would just like kind of ruminate on this new job and like overthink everything and try and prepare for and this way, like, I just can't, you know? So, and I think that's really what my brain and soul needs, is like to kind of like detox all of the, you know, the wildness of this year, and just like anticipating this new decade too. Turning 40 is like a big deal, and like, so I think there's like a part of me that wants to like, you know, say goodbye to my 30s well, and I think there's also some like redemptive stuff that needs to happen. I told my therapist a couple weeks ago, like, I feel like I'm gonna go on this walk with like 20-year-old Molly and 30-year-old Molly, and like just talk to them and just like, you know, debrief the last 20 years and celebrate the cool stuff, and maybe tell those versions of myself what they needed to hear at that time. And like, so it feels a little bit like, yeah,
cathartic.
Like, I think that's what I like. That's kind of the intention that I'd like to have as far as like what it's gonna look like. But I don't want to put like a bunch of pressure on it either. Like, I'm gonna come back a changed person, or like, you know, I think it's just gonna naturally do that. But
yeah, it's just nice that you have the time and the space to.
For sure. I mean, it's such an incredible privilege, and I just want to be like very mindful of that and so grateful, and yeah, like it's really cool. It's cool to be in a place where like I have the time and the means to accomplish a dream that I've had. Like,
I was curious, when was this like first, I don't know, on your mind?
Like, there was a friend in Bangkok who was wanting to do the Camino for her sabbatical, and she had invited some of us to go with her, and then she kind of changed her mind, and we did the pilgrimage in Italy instead. But I think that was the first time that I had kind of like heard about it and was like, oh, that sounds really cool. And then I had some other people that I knew who did it when they turned 40, and And I just kind of like got that in my head of like, I think I want to do that when I turn 40. And so, yeah, awesome. So to get to do it just feels great. And I'm just like so thankful for me in January being like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do the whole thing and I'm going to book it and we're going to just do it. Because I don't think this brain right now is like not capable of like making those plans. So
I'm super proud of you. I think it's so cool. Like, just watching you constantly just like, I don't know, you are just like a whole different Molly than the one we grew up with, you know? And I think that that's been super fun to watch you evolve into this like fearless, ambitious, I don't know, and then also see like, yeah, you accomplish all these cool goals. So I'm excited to see, yeah, Abby gave you a journal, so I'm excited to like read your book one day. Like you're gonna write a book one day. It's happening.
Maybe this will be kind of the, I don't know. Again, I don't want to like put pressure on it, but like I just wonder if maybe it'll like kind of come together in my brain.
Well, and you'll have so much time to talk it out and be in your head and I don't know, plan. I don't know. I just think you'll have time, and time is on your side.
I mean, you're literally gone for 6 weeks.
I know.
Like I just feel like having the brain space to just heal and talk to yourself. Like I'm like that is
with no responsibilities of like class,
right,
evaluations.
It's going to be a little jarring, I think, of like all I have to do and all I get to do today is walk 15 miles,
right,
and eat and sleep and wash clothes.
Amazing.
Like so simple, but also
and then
so
doing
hard.
it over and over.
Mentally so hard.
It is 500 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but lots of time with Jesus.
Again, I'm just so intrigued to see, like, as miles pass, just like, you don't have to share your journal with us, but maybe little pieces, parts of just like mileage and, you know, was it what you expected by the time you got to mile 100? Or, I don't know. I'm just intrigued to.
Or like, will you do like one thing that surprised me today or something like just to be able to like kind of capture, I don't know, just to like, yeah, really be eyes wide open to be like, okay, God, what do you have for me today? Like really invite him into those spaces of just like, what do you want to tell me today? Like, who do you want me to meet today? Like, imagine the people you're going to be walking next to. And it just blows my mind. Like, so cool. So cool.
Yeah. So fun.
Oh, man. So crazy. Well, I feel like you were kind of talking about like, what do I do now that all I have to do is this? I feel like that's kind of like the season Kevin's in right now of like, poor Kevin. Like these last few months have been like, oh my gosh, so hard and so stressful of like him trying to get into school and dealing with FAA and everything. But like, it has been such a gift. I'm so glad we left when we did, because had we not left when we did, I'm not sure Kevin would have been released from his squadron. And so it's just been such a gift. Him having space, because his last few years have been so stressful and his job sucked so hard. So anyways, for him to just be able to like literally be at home, have the space to move in, have the space to like do projects with no responsibility. I mean, granted, he's doing this like little skill bridge thing, but and I mean, we have been to 100 doctor's appointments and trying to get this whole FAA thing, but I still believe that God is going to move mountains and he's going to start school in August. Like I do believe that. And if not, then God's got a different plan for us. But it's just been so nice to see him in a space of just like no pressure and no stress. And so I'm excited for you to have that too, because I think we've just like been going. And so, yeah. So anyways, hopefully the FAA will clear him and he'll get to still go to school. And so you can accomplish that goal. But yeah, but I don't know what a non-working Kevin is like.
Yeah.
So yeah, lots of projects still to do, but yeah. And it's actually been super fun to watch him with your kids. He's such a good, fun uncle, and those kids love him so much. And he's always like, I'm going to go play with the kids. And I'm like, bye.
Well, and I almost feel bad. I'm like, because they're always like, oh, yeah, will you come in our room? Will you show us this, how to do this airplane and this one? And I'm like, Kevin, you don't have to. I'm sorry. But he's like, oh, yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when we were at the race, they were all like, can you come explore with us? Can we go explore over here? Like, just wanted to hang out with him all the time.
Yeah. So it's just been like a sweet insight of like, you're going to be such a fun dad.
For sure.
And Annie calls him Kevy, by the way.
Oh.
When we were, drawing his thing today. Kevy for Kevy. like,
Yeah.
Kev,
She loves Kev.
she
Kev.
does. Yep.
But so anyway, so yeah, it's just been fun to see him in that space because he didn't really get to like have that as much. And maybe it's like ages and just the relationships that we have, and so it's just been really sweet.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been really good to be.
He's very loved.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, we're celebrating 20 years of him being in the Air Force tomorrow, which is a big deal. So
That's insane.
isn't that crazy? 20 years of his life dedicated to the Air Force. So he still has a couple months technically, but yeah, big milestone. Super proud of him.
Amazing to be that dedicated to something for that long.
Yeah. No, it's amazing. So I hope he feels, because accomplished, and celebrate him and whatnot. So, anyways, lots of big things happening in our family.
Big things going on, no big deal.
But it's so nice to be able to like process through all the very many things that are happening together.
Yeah.
Like I'm so thankful we do family dinners every week.
So nice.
I'm really proud of us all for
Making that a priority.
Happen.
Yeah.
Just like a non-negotiable.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully it'll encourage mom and dad to like, I don't know, move here. I know. So here's our little schemey. Mom, if you're listening, this is our plan. Molly's gone for the next 6 weeks. Therefore, there's an apartment here in Grand Junction that's available. Therefore, we're going to highly encourage them to like, hey, stay for a few days. We'll watch Piper. You guys stay here. So they can be like, what are we doing? We need to move here. Stat.
No. Everyone I talk to, they're like, why do they live there? I'm like, I don't know why they live an hour away. I don't know.
But it was a pain in the butt to have to go back with them after dinner to be like, it is 8:00 at night. We're not going to get home till 9. I'm tired. Like, this sucks. I mean, an hour away is better than, a plane ride away, but still, it's like long enough to be annoying. So,
yes. And close enough to be like, fine, it's sort of convenient, but
we also need to go to Sam's Club 5 times, and but you know what, they sacrifice that and they're willing to come, and that's awesome.
They don't really whine about it. We all whine about it,
right? I'm like, yeah. So, and the unfortunate thing is our house is a little too small for them to stay. So Abby and I, so if they need a place to stay, it's not our place and it's not Molly's. So
we get to hang out at our crazy house. That's fun.
So, anyways, but that is the latest update for A Word with the Girls. So, in 6 weeks, hopefully there's not a baby yet. Maybe, I don't know. We'll find out. What's going to happen. But Molly will be back.
Yeah, maybe that'll be the next time we podcast.
Right, in the hospital with a newborn. No. But we're gonna have like a full Camino recap debrief sesh.
Well, I just keep thinking like it's a good thing I have a new job and a new nephew. Otherwise,
you may never come back.
It might be hard to. Yeah, like what am I doing? Of course, I'm gonna stay in Europe.
I wouldn't blame you.
Yeah. I'm like, live it up, man. You have no strings attached.
True.
We love you and want you here, but also like, dude, you only get one life, so like,
YOLO.
And maybe YOLO is like YOLO in the summer.
Totally.
I'm all game for that. Maybe one of these summers we can join you.
Which is the beauty of being in education. Like that's one of the reasons why I'm thinking like, no, actually, I kind of want to be in the schools because then I'd have summers off.
Right. Sure.
Yeah. And you're a homeschool mom, meaning you can do whatever you want. Therefore,
summer all year round,
all the time.
So yeah, but now we are going to put something as a priority, which is watching trash TV together as sisters.
Yeah, so we're gonna go.
We're gonna watch some
so we can connect on judging people.
The drama of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is the current show. We might not be proud of it, but it's all right.
It is what it is.
Everyone has their things, so
it's good to be back.
It is good to be back. And
if you're still here, thanks for being here.
Right. And yeah. Keep tabs, and thanks for joining us for another Word with the Girls, a podcast where one word sparks conversation. This word was just update, That seems to be the word. But thanks so much for joining us. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify. Feel free to put in a word or a word of encouragement for Molly for her trip or whatever. We'd love to hear from you. So we will chat again soon. Bye.
Bye.
Go watch or listen to our latest episode at A Word with the Girls on YouTube or Spotify.